Alright, now getting to some more size comparisons with the Marvel Legends. Here is Deadpool. What's up guys, Wallen Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the Figma Avengers Hulk figure right here. Looks pretty cool. Nice big green box on the sides. You have some pictures of nice poses of the figure right there. On the back as well, more poses. Looks pretty cool. Let's open them up. Alright guys, so here is Figma Hulk out of the box. Now he is a very interesting figure right here. We'll get into all the cool stuff soon. First off, let's take a look at his accessories. He does come with two pairs of hands, one fist, one open hands. You know, not that much to talk about. Really, though, when you take a look at the fist hands really closely, they have like little circles in them right there. You can see it. I'm not sure why they did that. I don't think anything's going in there, and I feel like they could have just close it up. It might have looked better, who knows, but that is there, and the open hands are pretty standard. Nothing to really talk about right there. Next, he does have his Figma stand right here that has a little peg over there, and it goes a little peg hole over there. It's pretty tight fit, getting it in there. You have to really get in there, and the funny part is you ask yourself, can this stand even hold his weight, because it's not this, you know, he's a heavy figure, and he falls apart. You see that? We'll get into that soon. Yeah, I asked myself, is there any point of the stand? But it's nice to have an extra stand. I mean, maybe it screws so you could tighten it even more and get into some nice jumping poses or something like that. Like so, but yeah, whatever. And next, he does have a little baggie so you can keep his hands in, which is pretty cool. It does say Figma on it right there. You can write whatever you want, maybe on a Sharpie, the Hulk. And he does come with a little mechanism right here. We'll take a look at that, because you could change the direction of his eyes, and you could probably use that to make it easier for yourself, but we'll get into that soon. Alright guys, size comparisons off the bat once again. So right here we have the SH Figure Arts Hulk with the Figma Hulk right here, and I will go into more in-depth conclusion between these two guys because I know everyone is wondering which one is better. But first off, let's take a look at the sizes right here. Right there, side by side, pretty similar, pretty different in different ways as well. One can pass as a movie version Hulk, the other one can pass kind of as a movie version Hulk, but also as a comic Hulk. Really depends on your style and preference. So take a look at their backs as well. Very interesting, right? So we'll get into more of this later, but let's go back into these size comparisons. Now for another size comparison, here is Hulk with the Build-A-Figure from the Marvel Legends Hulkbuster right here. Looks pretty good side by side. Not bad. I don't mind the size right there. It's pretty good to me, to be honest. The Hulkbuster should be a lot bigger compared to the Hulk right there. For size comparison, we have the Figma Hulk with the Build-A-Figures from Hasbro right here. We have the Juggernaut, and we have the big guy right here, Rhino. Doesn't look that bad. Obviously, they're bigger than him. But it really, like I said, it depends on your own preference, how you see the Hulk in your view, how you see these guys in your view, in your collection as well. Next, right here, we have Loki from the first Avengers movie figure right there. So they pair up pretty good if you want to see how they look like. Next, right here, we have the Marvel Legends Gladiator figure, which I want to show because he is one of the bigger molds from the Marvel Legends, so you can see how he pairs up next to the Hulk. For the next size comparison, we have the Hulk and Thanos right here. Thanos is from the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure line. I actually like the size comparison right here. In my opinion, I think it's pretty good. I always saw Thanos as a big guy, but I never saw him as like the Hulk big. So I think this is pretty good. I could be wrong, but I think for my own preference and how I like the sizes, I think this is pretty good. And if you want to see how the SH Figure Arts Hulk stands up next to Thanos right there, you get that. Alright, now getting to more size comparisons with the Marvel Legends. Here is Deadpool, and we have Cable right here. A little bit different. These are more comic accurate. If anything, this is the movie accurate version, but you can see how they stack up. Now we have some X-Men figures. We have the Wolverine right here, and we have Rogue right there. Not bad. Get out of here, Rogue. And we have Wolverine and the Hulk. Always fun to see right there. The Hulk is just a huge man. Looking down on him. Looking up. Alright, for another size comparison, here he is with some of the more accurate, movie accurate Avengers figures from different lines, as you can see. Not bad, pretty good, he does fit in pretty well. Sorry I'm a little far away because Ant-Man's just so big. Here is a nice size comparison up close, and I know a lot of people see the Thor in the background. Hang out for another week, it will be up soon. And for another size comparison, here is the Hulk of some of my favorite figures from my own personal collection. Now individually right here we have the Figma Iron Man, my favorite Iron Man of all time, and we have the more recent Captain America figure with a swapped head right there. Next we have my custom Thor figure right here, and we have Black Widow. Looks pretty good with them side by side. Next we have a bunch of Spider-Man figures. We have the Pizza Spider-Man right here, we have the Ultimate Spider-Man right there, and of course we have the new movie Spider-Man figure right there. Next we have some SH Figuarts figures. We have Captain America and Superman right there. Next, rounding it off, we have some DC icon figures right here. So we have Batman and we have Superman right there. Now switching sides, we have some DC Universe, DC Classic body molds, so you can see how they stack up with the Hulk right here. And of course, rounding it off, we have the new Mafex Batman and Superman figures right here. And they look pretty good because all these figures are pretty much movie accurate, and they look pretty nice together side by side. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed those size comparisons. I know you guys would. Now let's get down to business on this guy. Alright, so let's take a look at his accessories once again. If you want to remove the hands, they come off like that. Not bad. It's basically just like a stick. It's not even like a peg or anything like that. And you stick it in there. And they fit in pretty good. They're not going to fall off or anything like that. They're pretty flush in there, so you shouldn't have a problem of them falling off overall. But remember seeing in the beginning of the video that his leg came off, and I don't know, I only have one other Figma figure, so I don't know if that's a huge issue and how they're connected, but it does come off, as you can see right there. Not a big fan about that, but you know, it's pretty flush when it's in there. It's not like it's gonna fall apart or anything like that. It doesn't feel like it's broken or something, but you could basically just take it apart piece by piece like that. It's pretty interesting because there is no pegs. There's no pegs in them, you know, they're just sticks. And go in, and it's, like I said, it's flush though. When it goes in, it's pretty flush. It's just that like that one time it came out. So sometimes it might happen to you. Same thing with the arms. This could come off. This could kind of slide down like that. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I didn't have that problem with my Iron Man figure, so this is the first time I'm experiencing it. But like I said, you know, they come off, they go right back on. When you finally stick the end pieces in there, you know, it's all good and gravy. But I don't know. Is that an issue with you guys? I have no idea. Like I said, this is only my second Figma figure ever, so I'm kind of experiencing that for the first time. The next thing we're going to take a look at is this little mechanism you can use to change the direction of his eyeballs. So it's a pretty cool gimmick. I don't mind it. It's pretty nice to have. It's pretty cool that they actually threw that in there. So what you want to do is just take the face off of the Hulk, and it comes off pretty good. And let's take a quick close-up of the Hulk so you can even see his eyes right there. And you know, he has a pretty deep brow on top of his eyes, so it's kind of hard to see sometimes, or just have bad lighting. But overall, it's pretty cool. You can see his eyes right there. We'll take a look at the back right now so you can see how it looks like inside. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you don't need to use it, but it's pretty cool to have. So you just stick it into the peg hole right there, and you can move the direction of his eyeballs like that. So now he has really weird looking eyes. Let's bring him in so you can actually really notice it. There you go. I don't know if I did anything, but yeah. It's a cool gimmick to have. You know, I don't know if I'll use it that much. If you do ACBA and get some nice angles on him, you might use it more beneficial, but I'll probably just keep his eyes straight all the time, no matter what. There you go. Now let's get into articulation. Now I know a lot of people are wondering, how is the articulation on this figure? You know, I know a lot of people are wondering because there's no bicep swivel over here, there's no ab joint. Surprisingly, it's not that bad. It's pretty decent. So first off, let's take a look at the head. The head's actually on a ball joint and a peg right there. So it's pretty good movement, and this moves also. So you should get some decent movement out of his head. It goes down about that much, not horrible. It goes up about that much, not bad at all. It does go left and right. It doesn't really pivot. It pivots a little bit, but it's not that great. So the shoulder joints are hinge joints that go in and out pretty good, about that far. They go down all the way, of course. They go in and out, up and down, and all that stuff. Like I said, there is no bicep swivel, which a lot of people were talking about. But you know, when I talked to people about it, they failed to tell me that at his elbow, it goes up about 90 degrees, pretty good, but also rotates over here. So that is basically in place of the bicep swivel, which I don't mind. That's pretty good. So you have that covered right there. And of course at his wrist over here, he just has a, it's kind of like a ball joint, so it does rotate, go all the way around, so you should have no problems there with that. Now he does not have any ab joint right here. He does kind of have like a ball joint at the waist, so you could get some movement. So it's not bad too. It's not bad at all. It goes all the way down. Pretty good. Now it goes back. I'll try to get back. Alright guys, we are back. Jesus Christ, this guy. So that could probably qualify for the QC problems that we'll get to at the end of the video. But going back to the ab joint, it doesn't go back that much at all, but like I said, it goes forward pretty decent, so you will have pretty good range of movement for the ab joint. Now going down to the hips, they're basically T-jointed hips. They go forward about that much. Not the greatest, not 90-degree angle, but decent, okay. It doesn't go back at all. Doing a split, it's okay right there. He does have a thigh swivel. He does have 1 point at the knee, which is pretty good too. It's almost like a 90-degree angle right there. It does rotate left and right over there as well, so you have extra swivel, you want to call it that, for the legs. Going down to the feet, he does have a lot of stuff going on right there. So he has a hinge joint, which is pretty good. Really big disc over here, you can see that. It does pivot left and right. He has toe articulation as well. So very good articulation. Like I said, I know a lot of people were wondering about the articulation on this figure, and it's not bad. It's pretty good. It doesn't have like the bicep swivel, but you do have the elbow right there in place of it. It doesn't have an ab joint, but he does have a pretty decent ball joint at his waist, which also swivels too. I didn't say that, but so you have a lot of rotation right there. So you shouldn't, if you're looking for articulation, this guy has it. You just have to work around that. Okay, really quickly, let's talk about paint. I love the color of green on this Hulk. It's really movie accurate in my opinion, and a lot better compared to the SH Figure Arts version. And what's also really good about it is the shading. You can see all the shading in the muscle schemes. Let's zoom in on that. Looks really good, really enhances the muscle. You see the ab joint, not ab joint, the ab work right there. Looks really, really good. Even in the arms, take a look at the back as well. You see all the muscles, all the definition is back because the shading really enhances it, so that's pretty good. Taking a look at the pants itself, the pants are pretty normal, nothing really spectacular about them, but they look pretty nice, nicely sculpted. The top part of the pants here is a little bit softer material, not that soft though, but it's definitely a different material compared to maybe the rest of the figure, but or maybe it's just thinner, I don't know, but there is a difference in it. Alright guys, now we're getting to the end of the video, so I want to compare these two, and I might go on a little rant, so bear with me. So first off, obviously these are two great Hulk figures. Which one to get? I'm not going to tell you which one to get, I'm just going to show the pros and cons of these two. If you want to go with the safer bet, no, scratch that. Alright, if you want a movie accurate Hulk, you go with this one. If you want a semi-movie accurate Hulk, but you could pass as a comic Hulk, you go with this one. That's my opinion on that. The safer bet, I have to say, is probably this one because of the QC issues on this. Also, the articulation is a little bit better on this one too. But that's not saying that this is horrible, because as you saw in the articulation part of this video, whatever you're going to do with him, you could probably do the same thing. So it's not like he lacks articulation. He has articulation, so you shouldn't have a problem there. My biggest problem with this one, though, is the QC problems. Constantly when I'm doing this video, I find myself having to adjust the lower legs. That's probably the biggest problem with this guy, because I don't want to make it sound like it's the biggest problem in the world, but it's something that you're gonna have to deal with, at least with mine. I know that, I'm pretty sure yours too, by how it's constructed. Moving the legs around is not bad. There is pressure in there, so it stays in there, but the more you move it, the more you can kind of feel it kind of sliding down a little bit, so you constantly have to like adjust it. But like I said, it goes right back in there, it stays in there. But the fact that there's no peg, there's nothing in there to hold it in there, it's just that one stick, and I guess it gets thicker up as it goes up. That's why you have that constant pressure. But I don't know, it is something that you're gonna have to deal with though. Is it a big deal though? As you can see, you just stick it back in there, it's fine. I know a lot of people, when you have these figures, you're just gonna display them anyway, so you won't have a problem in the long run. You know, when we get these figures, we take them out, we play with them, we do ACBA, we take pictures for about a week, and then you put them in your display, or you put them back in a box depending on what you want to do with them. And like something like that, all these QC problems won't be a big problem to you, especially if you just put them in your display. You just have to deal with them for that couple seconds when you display it, and then you're good. Stay up there for a couple years, you know. So like I said, those problems for the QC problems could be, you know, make or break for you. But like I said, you could fix it, and it might not be a problem. So, but it's definitely something to notice and something to point out, though. So I want to show you guys that. And you know, like I said before, this might be the safer buy, but it doesn't mean he's perfect too. For one thing, people aren't a fan of the green, of course. You can see more of his articulated joints all over the place compared to this one. This one's a little more cleaner looking. The face sculpts, people might not like the face sculpt as well. For accessories, both of them come with 2 pairs of hands, fist and open hands. This one comes with 2 heads. This one comes with one head, but you could move the eyes. I guess that's a trade-off right there. So yeah, it really depends on how you guys collect, what you guys prefer. I have both of them, so I don't really care, obviously. But you know, it's hard to say which one's better, to be honest. Like I said, if you want movie accurate, go with this one. If you want comic book, anime, semi-movie accurate, it could definitely pass for movie, you know, accurate. So you have that one right there. QC problems alone, other than that, it's still a very nice figure. I like it a lot. You know, yeah, this comes down to which one you want to go for. You know, price-wise, they're about the same price anyway. I don't think you're going to see a big difference in price. What else is there? And articulation, like I said before, this one is the superior figure when it comes to articulation, definitely. But it doesn't mean this one's bad. Like I showed you in articulation part of the video, you can move everything. You know, he might not have an ab joint, but the ball joint at the bottom could definitely get him a decent pose. And I don't know how much you want to bring him down, but that's pretty good too. You could bring his head up all the way like that. He doesn't have a bicep swivel, but he does rotate right there, so you won't have a problem there. Yeah, so like, I don't know. He's not a bad figure. Like I said, moving him right now comes off. What do? You just stick it back in there, and then you're okay. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Like I said before, I might go on a little rant because there's a lot of stuff to discuss, and I don't know where to start. I don't know where to end. But my general feeling is that I like the figure a lot. You know, you look at him, he's so movie accurate that you can't deny how nice that looks. But it really comes down to you guys. What do you guys think about it? Figma or SH Figure Arts? Movie accurate, semi-movie accurate, cartoon accurate, anime accurate, I don't know what you want to call that. But the 2 great figures, don't get me wrong. The green on this one looks a lot better. The green on this one is okay. It's not horrible, but it's definitely not movie accurate. This one is very movie accurate. Paint wise though, aside from the greens, the shading on both of them are really good. The sculpting of both of them are really good too. You can't, you know, they're top-notch figures. You know, it's really hard to make a decision which one's better. But just seeing them side by side, I hope that really helps you guys make a decision. Like I said, it really comes down to what do you collect. Do you collect more movie accurate figures like SH Figure Arts or Figma figures? You might want to get this one. If you collect more Marvel Legends or some SH Figure Arts figures, this one might actually be better for that one. So that's about it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If you like it, also share it. That'd be great. And that's about it, guys. So like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go to wildlandcustoms.com. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace.